hamburger right now. You know what? I could too. The great thing is everybody here still eats hamburgers, but one condition: they don't contain animal flesh. They're made from plants instead. That doesn't sound so good, does it? No. Tell me why that doesn't sound good to you. Have you ever tried?
No, I haven't.
You haven't. Okay. So, well, first of all, my question to you guys is: do you know what you're watching here? Do you know what this is about?
I'm not sure what you're about.
What you're showing? Okay. So what we're showing is what happens to animals so that we could eat them. All industries: meat, dairy, and eggs. Because when you go to the store, do you see this kind of footage on the clean packaged meat? No, they don't show you this, do they?
Well, that's right.
Yeah. And the reason they don't show this to you is because, what do you think? How does it make you feel when you're watching it?
Not the best.
Not the best,
Sure, yeah.
right. So you're probably not going to want to buy their products so much if they show you what's going on.
That's what your point is, that's what you're trying to...
Exactly. We're trying to help consumers make that connection because, do you know why this is happening? There's only one reason. Most people don't realize what that is. Do you know what the reason is? The only reason this is happening is because consumers are paying for it. We want the products. And so we say to industry, yeah, I want that hamburger, or I want the chicken nuggets, or I want the glass of milk. And so they produce those products. And so therefore, do you know what we can do to stop this from happening?
Not buying them.
Not buying it, exactly. Yeah, it's a very simple solution. So that's why we're showing it. We're trying to help consumers like you guys make that connection.
I see.
Right? So when you're watching this, what is going through your mind? Like, what do you think? Do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing? Does it make you angry? Does it make you sad? What's it stirring inside of you?
I think the point behind that is people want to make money. That's the point.
Yes, they do. They do.
Everything is done because of money.
Yeah.
People want money.
I completely agree with you.
For everything, so
Yeah.
they don't really care what they're doing.
That's right, they don't care what they're selling us. But you know what? That's also very good to know, because that means that the power is with the consumers. Because all we have to say is, we don't want this product, we want this product instead, and they're going to produce that. And that's what's happening. Plant-based foods, the industry is actually growing. It's worth billions of dollars, and people are investing into it because it's the future. People are moving away from animal-based products towards plants. So you're right, it is about money, and that's a really good thing. It's empowering for the customers, right? Would you ever consider not eating animals?
Me?
Yeah. No? Why not? What's holding you back?
Meat is that what we need?
What do you need from it?
That gives me strength, gives me power. That's what I
it?
need to live, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure. So you wouldn't eat meat at all, or?
No, we don't eat anything.
Not fish or something?
Well, fish is an animal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but there are some that would eat fish.
No. Everybody here is eating a plant-based diet. We're all vegan. So vegans don't consume any animal products, not even dairy, eggs, nothing that comes from an animal.
So,
But going back to your question about, you said you need it for power and strength and all of that. Do you know that there are vegan weightlifters and bodybuilders and athletes?
Maybe there's some.
Some?
But
Oh my goodness.
I wouldn't say that there are a lot of them.
Really? Have you looked into it?
that's-
Because do you know the world's strongest man is actually vegan?
Yeah, I heard a lot of that, but
What else do you need then? If the world's strongest man can only eat plants, what do you need from animals that he doesn't?
it's not just because they eat plants.
What is it?
Well, they take other stuff.
Oh, you don't think that non-vegan bodybuilders take other stuff?
I'm sure they do.
They absolutely do. They absolutely do. You can get everything nutritionally from plant foods, and it's very simple to understand that because the animals that we're eating, what do they eat? Where do they get their nutrients from? What's the answer?
So what?
No, hold on, what's the answer?
Well, it depends on which animal.
Cows, chickens, pigs, the animals that we eat for our nutrients, for our power.
Well, of course they eat grass, hay, whatever.
They eat plants. We feed plants to those animals. So we are filtering our nutrients through their dead bodies. We don't need to eat them.
So you wouldn't even kill animals?
Why would I need to kill the animals for?
Well, what if you don't? There would be so many of them.
Oh, that's because we breed them into existence. They don't mate anywhere near the rate naturally that we breed them. We force them to breed.
But
Yeah.
like, what about the natural life in the woods. There's so many animals.
Yeah.
If they don't kill them or...
Sure. Are you an animal in the woods?
You can see better here.
I'm
It's
not.
very bright.
Right?
I'm a human.
Exactly. So we live in a city, we have plenty of plant foods.
Yeah, but what if I live in the country?
Yeah, so you still have a supermarket to buy food at in the country, right? The animals...
I don't need that. I don't need that. Like, what about all the sicknesses they have when there's too many animals? What about that?
Oh, you mean like having to cut to kill animals because...
Yeah.
Look, that's a different situation altogether. What we're focusing on is what you have control over 3 times a day, is what you're eating. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
where the majority...
I wouldn't kill an animal just for fun.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying.
Sure.
I would kill animals to eat them.
Yes, for sure. And what I'm saying is, do you need to eat them? Why do you need to eat them?
I need it.
Why? Why are you different to anybody else here? Why are you different to the world's strongest man who eats plants?
I told you already.
What?
I need it. It gives me strength.
But it doesn't give you strength. Plants give you strength. The world's strongest man, he's broken records, only eats plants. So do you think you need more strength than the world's strongest man?
Yes.
You really? What are you doing today? Where are you guys going? You're off to work or?
We do.
What do you do? All right, what's your job?
We're Christians.
You're Christians, okay. So you're talking to people like me? Yeah? Do I have enough strength to talk to you? We're doing the same job. We're doing the same job.
But we're trying to be stronger than the vegan man that's the strongest in the world.
You're trying to be stronger than
We're
the
trying to do
strongest
better,
man in the world.
So we need the meat.
Wow. Look, I understand what you're saying, and I know a lot of guys your age think that you need that, but all you have to do is go to Vegan Bodybuilders. That's a website. You can see everybody there. There are plenty of athletes that eat a plant-based diet, okay? Eating meat does not make you stronger. It actually makes you weaker. Now, I'm going to tell you something that might be a bit of a shock to you, but you should know this because you're very young, so I'm going to tell you now before it gets a little bit too scary. All right. Do you know what causes heart disease? That's our #1 killing disease. It kills more people than anything else on the planet. 17.5 million people a year die from heart disease. Do you know what causes it?
I'm guessing it's meat.
Saturated fat and cholesterol. So cholesterol is only found in animal products. Saturated fat is found mostly in animal products. So the one disease that kills more people than anything in the world is based on eating animal products. Now, when the arteries are blocked and the blood flow is blocked to the heart, blood flow is blocked to all parts of the body. All parts of the body. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what the first sign of heart disease is? Means you can't have an erection. Okay? Men become impotent because they have a blockage of flow of blood to all parts of the body. This is not my opinion, this is science telling us.
Okay. Sure,
okay?
Sure.
So eating meat doesn't make you manly if you can't do the most manly thing, apparently, which is to have an erection. So that is something very serious to consider.
Let me ask you another question.
Yes.
So your point is live healthy, live longer. Mm-hmm. So would you say that...
My point is stop contributing to this unnecessary cruelty. By default, you are going to be healthier.
So why do you bring that point out that people live longer than when they...
Oh, I didn't say people live longer. You said you wanted to be strong and tough and manly, and you think you need to eat animals to do that.
That's why I am.
Well, you won't be when you can't have an erection, now will you?
Can we reach a compromise?
Yes.
So we make the factories better, but we still eat meat.
Okay, so
That sounds good.
you still won't be able to have an erection, you still have heart disease, and these animals still go to a slaughterhouse. So it's not the treatment.
I said we treat the animals better.
Yeah, but they still...
We do have to kill them.
Well, that's the thing. Do we have to kill them? Because how do you treat someone better when you chop their head off? How do you stab someone in the throat better?
First off, they're not someone.
Okay, what are they? They're a
But I'm
sentient
just saying,
being. Hold on, they're a sentient being, right?
But-
So how do you slit a sentient being's throat in a nicer way?
So, just like in the natural world, there's the law of, you eat and be eaten, whatever.
Sure. Are you a lion? Are you a carnivore? Are you in the jungle?
Well,
You're
they're not.
not.
Those animals aren't in the jungle either.
That's right, they're
So-
not. They're in factory farms and
So
slaughterhouses.
we should let them go to the jungle or what? Or what should we do with them?
We can put them in sanctuaries. We can take care of them.
And
The
then-
point is
and
that
then we stick them all in sanctuaries and they grow so many.
no.
We have all types
That's what
of
I'm
No.
talking about.
No, no,
I'm
no.
not- I'm
So-
not-
We
I'm not
breed
saying-
So
them.
we need to act more like the way it was designed, the natural process of eat and be eaten.
Right, okay, so when was a chicken eaten you?
Well,
They can because they're not
when has a
That's
fish
right.
eaten a shark? I mean,
Look,
And there's a difference between animals.
there is a big difference. The animals that you see out in the jungle that kill other animals, they're called carnivores. They have to eat other animals. That's how they're designed. We're not carnivores. Okay, we're not carnivores.
We're not cannibals. I mean, I'm not going to kill them and eat them.
I'm not saying cannibals, I'm saying carnivores. Do you know what a carnivore is?
A carnivore, yeah.
Yeah, so we're not carnivores, therefore we don't have to eat them. So it's unnecessary. In fact, as I described, it's detrimental to our health because it causes our number one disease. So if we were supposed to eat animals, then the number one thing that kills us would not be eating animals. Right? Does that make sense to you?
Okay, like you said, we don't have to eat them, yeah? There's so many other things that we don't have to do and we do it anyway.
Sure, yeah, true. Yeah, we've got a lot of problems in the world, but it's not an either or.
So you think that's the answer?
Well, I think it's the answer to stopping this, and this is something we can directly control 3 times a day.
Okay, I told you I'm not for that, like killing people, killing animals.
That's it.
But like just for fun, that's what I mean.
Yeah, and so what I'm saying is there's no need to. You're living in a city. There are plenty of plant-based foods. The supermarkets are full. Why would we do something that we don't need to that's causing suffering? What if the what? The plant life dies out? Wow, that's a good one.
Starts eating grass, there wouldn't be no grass anymore.
Do you think?
Ireland wouldn't be that green anymore.
Wow, do you think we eat grass?
That's why they're in
Pretty much.
I know a lot
Yeah?
of vegetarians that eat grass.
Cool. Who here ate grass today? Let's look at all the hands.
Seaweed. What's the difference between
No one.
seaweed and grassweed?
No, I know. It's pretty funny, isn't it? I know, it's pretty funny. Listen, guys, the majority of plants that are grown on the planet today are actually fed to animals. Okay? There are 1 billion people starving on this planet. We grow enough food to feed 10 billion people. Those plants are going to fatten up animals so we can slit their throats, so we can eat them, so we can get sick and die of diseases that we weren't supposed to develop. It's hurting us, it's hurting them, it's hurting other people. Now, you guys said you were Christian, right? So isn't part of what you do care about everybody and it's loving and compassionate? So you wouldn't want to hurt other people. You wouldn't want kids starving in the third world. But that's what happens when you go to the store and a restaurant and you eat animals. You are supporting a system that literally takes food away from babies, from children, because we're feeding those plants to animals. Does that align with what you guys are about? Are you hearing what I'm saying?
I'm hearing what you're saying.
But what about?
But I think that it wouldn't even matter, even if we still would eat plants. The system would be still the same.
The system is responding. No, the system is responding to what we do as consumers. This is about money. It's about one thing, money. The industry only wants, they don't care what they're producing, they just want to sell us something. Now here's a fact for you. This is not my opinion. The plant-based foods are increasing because more people are waking up, they're seeing this and they're saying, I'm not doing that anymore. So, do you know what the animal agriculture industry is doing because they recognize this demand? They are starting to buy companies that produce plants. So now meat companies produce meat and they produce vegan food at the same time because they see a demand. The more vegan food they produce, the less animal products they produce. So that's how we change the industry. It's simply demand.
I understand what your point is, yeah? May I ask you one question?
Yes, you may.
Where did you buy the glasses?
I knew you were going to say that. Yes.
How much did you pay for that?
Yes. Being vegan does not mean you're perfect and you cause no damage. There is problems with everything that we do.
Look, what I
understand,
say is that,
but
so you're supporting
3 times
a system,
a day.
You're supporting a system in China somewhere where people get paid, I don't know how many cents an hour.
Yeah, how do you know they come from China? Maybe I bought them. Maybe well,
that's
you're guessing, right? Okay, I understand.
Tell me, where did you buy it?
I don't know, but here's the point. I agree with you. I agree with you. You're totally right.
So that's even a system that is even worse because people are hurting, not animals.
Well, this is hurting people as well. So you're killing both. You're hurting both people and animals. The point is, we can control this 3 times a day. We can stop it right now. We can stop it right now. Next time you go and buy a meal, if you're choosing to buy animal products, you're directly paying for this.
Why don't we send the children that are starving meat? There's plenty of extra meat too. Instead of just plants all the time.
Because this is feeding Westerners like you guys.
But there's extra meat too.
Are you going to send it back to them? Do you think the industry cares about feeding?
Well, they can eat them themselves.
Do you think, what are you talking about? No, these animals are raised in the West. They raise the plants in the third world where you guys send your missionaries, right?
Send them the meat back.
What would be the industry's point to do that? They would lose money. This is about money. This isn't about goodwill.
They would do the same thing with the plants.
Yeah,
The point is that they do that with everything.
Yeah, but hold on. If they're growing plants only to feed animals, and there's no animals to feed because there's no demand for animal products, then those plants that they're growing can then be sold to humans. Okay, so there has to be a redistribution of those resources. The point is, we already have enough food to feed those starving people. And again, as Christians, I'm sure you guys care about those starving people. So, yeah, so why wouldn't you want to take action to help them by not taking those resources away from them, by not supporting the industry that is starving those people?
So what do you mean with people that are affected under that? They're not really people affected when we support the industry.
Of course there are. Well, first of all, you're affecting yourself. I just said that the leading cause of death is heart disease. So 17.5 million people die of that. That is affecting people.
How many of them are vegetarian?
Oh, very small number. Have you looked at the science? I will give you some resources to look at this. The other thing is the workers in this industry. Do you know where they come from? Because people don't want to go to work and slit throats for a living, right? Would you want to do that as your job?
Okay.
Hold on, let me answer. No, let's finish that. No, we're going to finish that question.
I like my compromise.
Well, the animals don't like your compromise because they're the victims. You're the perpetrator at the moment. So you have to look at it from the victim's perspective.
We don't kill more than we need to. We're merciful.
You don't need to kill them at all, and being merciful doesn't mean anything to the victim.
But we gotta have meat.
You don't have to have meat. I've already answered that. Hold on. The workers that are in this... Okay, now you're just showing that you're not very intelligent by making that comment, all right? Don't degrade yourself like that, my friend. You're smarter than that. The workers in this industry, a lot of them are illegal migrants. They have no choice left. Now, as good Christian people, do you want people who are desperate for an income, that a lot of them have mental health issues, they have drug abuse problems? The industry they take advantage of people who are marginalized and suffering, and they put them in these jobs where they don't even give them a break and they have to piss and shit in their own pants. Do you think that is something Jesus would want? Do you think that's how we should be treating each other? Okay, so this is about a human rights issue equally as much as it is about animals, and I'm getting very passionate about this. I'm very angry about it, and I'm concerned why you guys are laughing and you're not angry about it. I'm not religious, I'm not Christian, but right now, you're not really displaying many Christian values by laughing at the suffering of innocent beings, human and non-humans. You are laughing and you're mocking what I'm saying, and that's very concerning. It is. You're laughing and it's concerning.
Okay, if you think so, we apologize for that.
Thank you for your apology.
I don't laugh about when someone is suffering. Yeah?
That's not what
Another point. What about people? Does anyone of your group smoke or drink? Take drugs?
Possibly, I don't know.
Possibly, why?
Why recreational? I don't know.
Why should
just because it's an individual
choice.
that
they hurt their body?
Yes.
Health?
Yes, absolutely.
So why do they do it?
Okay, so there is a difference between a personal choice and an action that affects another being. So if I want to go and I want to get drunk and I want to smoke weed, that is affecting me, right? Now it's bad for that is bad for my health, but I am not taking the life of another being.
You can. You actually can.
If there was an accident, yes. Now look, let me be honest with you. I haven't drunk alcohol for 9 years. I don't drink, I don't do any drugs. Okay, great. Everybody here is not about being the perfect, best example of a human being. That's not what we're trying to do, because it's very hard to do that, to live by that standard. In a perfect world, sure, that would be great, but we're not there yet. So all we're saying is, the very least we can do 3 times a day is not pay for someone to stab a baby in the throat. That's all we're doing, because the animals that we're eating, they're actually babies. They may look big, but that's because they're genetically manipulated to grow very big. They're actually babies. If we don't have to do that, why would we?
So many people hurting with alcohol and drugs.
Yes.
So many people commit suicide.
It's not an either or. I agree with you. It's not. We're just going to focus on this issue and nothing else, right? Everything has to be done, and there are people working in all different fields. So this is what we're doing. There are 150 billion animals killed every year. Just think of that number. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet. 150 billion animals slaughtered every year for food. That's a huge number. That's the most amount of violence and death on the planet, and we can stop it by choosing something else on the menu. Do you see what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but I think starting there is not the right point.
Why don't you start at both? Why don't you do both? You cannot eat animals, and you can also go and help people that have drug addiction problems. It's not choose, but you still eat animals. Right, so what I'm saying is just change what's on your plate and continue the great work that you're already doing. It's even better, right?
Okay.
You can do both.
So when you take a cigarette or buy an alcohol drink, you're supporting it.
I don't do that. I don't do it.
But
I don't do it. I can't control what every other person does. Right now we're educating people about dairy industry. Have you had a look at dairy? Have you actually watched the footage? Do you know how they make milk and cheese? Do you know the story?
I know some. I'm not saying that I know everything, and I don't say that everything I do is good. Okay. I'm not saying that.
So I would like to invite you to watch the footage, because I know we've spoken a lot. You've heard a lot of information from me. Until you actually look at the animal and really let that into your heart, I think that's very important for you to make a connection. Can you have a look at the footage with me, please?
I know that.
You don't know it. You don't know it. You're not watching it.
I'm sure I know.
How is milk produced? Tell me what they do to the female cow.
Okay, I've been to a lot of farms.
Okay. Have you seen how they stick their arm up her anus?
I saw some.
You've seen that? You've seen how they masturbate the bull to collect the semen?
I'm not saying it's good. I say it's bad.
Yeah, so you don't have to support it. If it's bad, then you don't have to support it, is what I'm saying. Okay? And all we have to do is start aligning our actions with our ethics.
I know we don't have to support, but there are still a lot of other things that we...
I totally agree with you, so do as much as you can. This is something, again, I'm repeating myself, that you can do every single day. Are your values about love and compassion and kindness and respect? Is that the kind of thing you guys value? Yeah?
For sure.
So these are universal values. These are the same values we have. Everyone in the group has these same values. The only difference between you guys and us is that we have aligned our actions with our ethics. That's it. We live in alignment with what we're all valuing. That's the only difference. And how we make our actions align with our ethics is we educate ourselves by really absorbing this information and really letting it sink into our hearts. Okay? So I want to thank you very much for this conversation.
Yeah.
All right? Can I leave you with a card?
Like to.
I would very much like to. Can I give you to share? Is that all right?
Sure. Great.
All right. There are some more resources here for you to watch, some videos about health, environment and ethics. It's going to answer more of the questions, the topics that we've been talking about. If you would like to try this out because you have nothing to lose, there is a website here called vegan22.com. It's a free online mentoring program. 22 days, you get a mentor, they give you recipes, they help you transition to a plant-based diet. You've got nothing to lose, but you have a lot to gain and you have a lot that you can contribute to this world for other people that you're very concerned about, for the animals, for the environment, for the next generation that need clean air, water and land to grow on, to live on. All right.
One more question.
Yeah.
Are you for abortion?
That is beside the point. It absolutely is. And if you are pro-life, then this is also life. Okay?
What's more important?
It's not about being one more important than the other. We all have the ability to suffer. And that's what we're talking about. If these were dogs and cats on these screens, would you still be having the same conversation? Or would you be saying to me, thank you for being here and for teaching people not to eat dogs and cats? Okay?
No. So, can you answer my question? Are you for abortion? Would you abort a baby?
We do not talk about abortion at these demonstrations.
You don't want to talk about that?
No, it's not what we're here to talk about.
That tells me now.
You don't know what our thoughts are on that.
I know. If you don't want to talk about that.
We're here to talk about animal agriculture. People ask us all kinds of other questions. What do you think about this and that? That's besides the point. We're talking about animal agriculture, what you eat 3 times a day.
Okay, one more question. So if you would have the choice, there's one person and one animal, and you have the choice to protect one of them. One of them is
yeah. When is that ever going to happen?
I'm not talking about that. I just want your opinion.
So you're throwing up this scenario.
No.
All right.
I just want to have your opinion. How you think, okay?
Yeah.
So if you have the choice.
Yeah. What's the full scenario? Who can I get to safely?
One is dying. But
I don't understand. Who can I get to safely first? I would rescue the being that I could safely rescue.
Let's say this way. If there's a fire in the house.
Yeah.
And your grandmother's in there.
Yeah.
And your cat or her cat, whatever.
Yeah.
Which one would you rescue?
Which one can I get to safely? Which one can I physically rescue?
So you would rescue the cat instead of your grandmother?
They're both in the same room. They're both in the same room
and they're equal. They're equal. I can get to them both.
Yeah.
I would put the cat in my grandmother's arms and I would take my grandmother out of the house.
Okay, let's say it's a different animal. It's too big for you.
Yeah. What kind of animal is it?
Whatever.
Is it a cow? Why would the cow be in the house?
Well, there's some farmers that live in the same house with the animal.
Right. Okay, so there's a cow in the house and there's a grandmother in the house.
For example.
Right. So do you hear what we're doing here? We're talking about things that are never going to happen, guys. This is the reality of what is happening.
Okay.
This is the reality of what is happening.
I don't want to be mean.
Yeah.
But you're talking about something that's never going to happen.
What's never going to happen?
That everyone turns to a vegetarian.
I said we're not talking about vegetarian. Vegetarian is a very cruel diet. Dairy and eggs are worse than the meat industry. And I just told you about how they produce dairy. They take the babies away and they shoot the babies in the head. They put the male chicks that don't produce eggs, they put the baby males in a grinder and they kill them alive on their first day of birth. Are they things that you value, that you think are ethical? Do you support that kind of thing? I don't think so as Christians.
We don't support that.
That's right, but you do support it when you buy those products. You do support them when you buy those products. That's what you're paying for.
You know what the real problem is?
And by the way, every single person that is here is vegan. Okay, we don't exploit animals. Every single person was born exactly like you guys. I ate animals for 30 years of my life. I wasn't born this way, but I learned the truth and I changed. Now, that shows me that anybody has the ability to do it, and that is why, again, the plant-based food industry is worth billions of dollars today. It is the future and people are investing in it because it is growing. So it is going to happen. It's inevitable that it's going to happen. It's just how long it takes. And I'm surprised because usually it's the younger generation that can on to this very quickly. So I'm surprised to have, usually this conversation happens with people in their 40s and 50s. So the younger guys are usually more open to the information, right?
Just let's go back to the question.
Which question was it? The cow in the house with the grandmother?
Which one would you protect? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I would just want to have your opinion.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, my exact answer is I will protect whichever living being I can get to safely. Yeah. Whichever one I can reach. If my grandmother is on the top story and it's about to collapse, then obviously I can't, and the cat's right there.
If I can't go and rescue her, if I couldn't, if I wouldn't be able to, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But let me say what I would do.
What would you do?
I would first go and rescue a human being, like a person, my grandmother, and then go and rescue the cat.
Well, I love that answer, and the great thing is you can rescue human beings every single day by choosing to eat plants, because again, when we eat animals, it hurts humans as much as it does animals. So if you care about humans, then you would by default be eating a plant-based diet.
Because there is a difference between...
Yes, there is. I'm not arguing with that. There is definitely a difference. You know what the equal thing is? The same thing is that we all have the ability to suffer. So if we wouldn't want a human to suffer, then we equally shouldn't need to cause suffering to another innocent living being, an animal who does feel pain and avoids pain, and they seek joy.
No, we're not for just cruelly, whatever.
Yeah, and this isn't about the treatment. Taking someone's life, chopping their head off, is part of that. And if you can tell me how a nice way to chop someone's head off is done, I'd be very interested. But no one ever has a good answer for that.
Okay, I get your point. Like, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. But I think there's so many other people that are hurting. There's so many children that don't have food.
But I've already answered that. I've already answered that question.
Why don't you go there and help them first, and then go to the...
Oh my goodness! Have you been standing here for the last half hour? I've already answered this question. This is very simple. They're starving because we take their food and we feed it to animals. We're going round and round.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, we won't stay here for that long anymore. I think I know enough.
Thank you. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for having the conversation. And I really encourage you to please have a look at the resources on the card.
I would encourage you to...
What? Tell me.
Study more about...
For
example, you wouldn't want to talk about abortion, yeah?
Yes.
So just have a look at that, think about that.
Oh, I've looked into it. It's just not what we're here to talk about today. We're talking about animal agriculture.
But can I have your option, like your opinion? What are you for, against, or are you not allowed to say?
No.
You're not allowed? Okay. Tells me enough. I think I know your opinion.
And it's beside the point, mate. It really is beside the point. 3 times a day, we sit down to stabbing babies in the throat or not. You're simply aligning your ethics with your actions. You want to help people? Stop eating animals. We're going round and round and round and round.
So what my point is that I'm saying, like, people they have more value. So why don't we help first people?
I am helping people first. We are. We're doing that. What are you having for lunch? Hold on. What are you having for lunch today? You're gonna have a burger? You said you wanted a burger, right? So when you go to the store and you buy for that burger, you're paying for someone to be in the slaughterhouse, and then they're so depressed about their job that they go home and they beat up their wife because they have mental health issues because they have to stab babies in the throat. How is that helping humans? Choose the veggie burger instead. You help them, you help the animals, you help yourself.
Okay.
All right?
I would suggest you don't buy products from China.
No problem.
Cheap.
Absolutely. Cool. Thank you for coming by. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And if you felt marked, I'm sorry for that.
Sorry?
If you felt marked, I'm sorry for that.
I would rather you think about what you said in terms of not me personally, because you don't hurt my feelings, but the other people and the animals. Please be respectful to them.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm not saying that what you do is bad. I'm just saying there's a different way to resolve that issue. Whatever. It's all
Have
right.
a good afternoon.
You too.